Welcome to the Creative Wandering Duo with Dave and SandraZ-FiberArtist.
Morning, y'all. Nice fine morning here. Just want to clear up that this is a voiceover because, yeah, it was a good day. It started out real fine. Got the camera working in slow motion and no voice, so this is all a voiceover. Starting a fire in my homemade shop stove. Generally how I start my days. And you get to watch my back for a minute or two here as I continue to look after this fire a little bit. As you can see from the fan on top, it's probably just started, so no heat built up. This is what I plan on working on today. It's obviously a Saturday or weekend, and I needed a break from the jewelry box, which you can see parts of all over the countertop there. This is a Cigar Box Guitar, and well, a design of a Cigar Box Guitar. I made the box myself because I didn't have a cigar box at the time, and I wanted to make one. So, and after much investigation and stuff, I found out that the F hole for the sound holes is the most acoustically proficient way of making a sound hole. It's been proved scientifically that it's the best form of a hole rather than a round or square or anything else. It's best sound. It makes the best sound. Lets out the most noise. We're just checking resonance here. I'm amazed with it because you tap the headstock and you just hear the ring all the way down that neck. The neck is maple. The fretboard is maple. I laminated maple pallet boards. This is all found material. I bought them posts there. I had screws around the shop, of course. Most of the stuff is all used material I'm repurposing. Right now I'm talking about the scarf joint there, it looks like. And yeah. So it has a scarf joint for a headstock. I'm going to widen it. So as I use those are going to be my tuners. Guess I'm telling you what I got to do here. Don't know. Yeah. Make the headstock a little bit wider so I have enough material to be able to hog out the center of the headstock there, so as I can put the tuners in. It's a 3-string. It's going to be a 3-string guitar, so just showed you how the tuners are going to work, and yeah, explain to you now that I got to hog all that out so strings can get into the center part. Tony, I want to put some dowels in there to strengthen the headstock. Don't know for sure if that's really required, but sounds like a good idea to do anyhow. And you see some drawers for that jewelry box right there, beside my hand, in the way of course, and more drawer parts. Neck nice and smooth. Guess I was showing you that I needed to round over the back of the neck so it would be smoother and not quite so tough. Fretboard is another piece of wood I had laying around the shop there from a pallet. It's got wormholes in it and stuff like that. Looks like it wasn't quite long enough, so, but down there nobody's really going to be playing that last fret that I'm not going to put in anyhow. Plywood that we used, leftover plywood that we had from, if you remember the video, curb appeal, that's the material that I used on the front of our house for curb appeal, and had some left over, so it's 3/16, I believe it is, thick, so that's what I'm using for face and back. And these here nails I picked up so as I could just from the hardware store see what for a nut, which one would work best for a nut. Talking about grooving them so as the strings would stay in place. No idea what I'm talking about there. Something to do with fretboard or noise or something. Saddle placement. Oh, I'm showing off the resonance again, I guess. Yep, the jewelry box is still there. That's my 9 to 5 job during the day, during the week. Working on that because it does have to get finished for the summer. And drawers, those have to get done and out of my way for the day. Here I am, getting them done up and out of the way, taking off the edges of the bottom, so it's not so much sanding to do. Here I am sanding them to size, finishing them off. Now I can get on to working on the guitar, and I'm going to be cutting the extensions for the headstock. So that's what I'm doing here, is cutting up pieces for the headstock extension. Just found a scrap piece of maple. Looks like it cut off from fingerboard. rough cut it down to length. Excuse me, please. Setting up my marking gauge. I guess I was explaining how you have to be careful because the marker and the marking gauge will follow grain lines, so you have to be careful of that. I took a pencil to show off that where I'm going to be cutting, that line where I just marked. I'm going to use this little bandsaw because, well, the bigger the machine, the more material it uses, or it'll cut out. And this bandsaw is very small, so it has a very thin kerf. And the material, there's not a whole lot of material there, so it'll make just enough, just big enough. Talking about oils and salves and stuff like that on your hands and stuff like that. So when you go to glue the wood together, I've been handling this thing for a lot. So you want to take a little bit of sandpaper, make sure you get all the oils and stuff and salves from your hands off before you glue it on. So you have a nice clean surface. Now I'm figuring out what size of dowel I need, because that piece of metal in my hand is for making dowels. I'm going to use the dowel I'm going to make a dowel so that I can put some dowels in this scarf joint to strengthen it a little bit. Set it up in my leg vise. Making sure that the bottom of the leg is at the right distance, so it's I'm not just holding it in one spot, like the top or the bottom or something like that. It'll be more secure. Getting some junk out of the way, drawer parts. Here I am on found a scrap of wood that I'm going to use for the dowels, and I have to get the varnish off of it. I really love those that bench and those bench dogs, they just work slick as a whistle. Making a measurement for the size of material that I need as a blank to make my dowels out of. And it's just rough, so no need for any precise measurements here. That's the hole I'm going to use to make the dowels. And in order for this to go through properly, you have to round both ends off. One end you round off so it'll go into the tool you have clamped into the vise, and the other end has to be rounded off so it'll go into the drill. Yeah. I guess the blank that I need in there is small enough where it'll just fit into the 1/2-inch chuck of the drill. Just smoothing it off, taking all the rough fibers off. I guess I changed my mind a little bit, figuring it was finished. I wanted a little bit longer, so in we go again. Up to the chuck. Making the dowel as long as possible. I'll pick out the appropriate brad point bit. Just the right size. You guys are in the way, obviously. I'm figuring out the placement of the dowels. Want 4 in it, so how deep can I go without going through the bottom to... And this, I believe, if I remember correctly, this is a 13-degree scarf joint. Between 13 and 15 degrees is what these scarf joints are. Well, thanks for joining me. This will be everything for now. I'll bring you up to date later on how it's all progressing and going. And remember, stay real and do all the stuff. Bye-bye.